I need a host who would be interviewing me. And to do that, we have with us today a member who just joined today. And the expertise that she brings into the club is that she is already working in IBM Design Thinking Workspace. So I would like you all to put your hands together to Jui, who would be the radio host for today's special. Thank you, Jui. Please have your seat and let us begin. Start.
Hello listeners, good afternoon. You are tuned in Hub 3.1 FM and I am RJ Jui, your host, presenting you the most exciting episode on the Chat with Experts, and today's topic is design thinking. We have a very well-known name in the Toastmaster circle and immediate past president of IBM Synergy Toastmaster Club, Mr. Krishnakant Naik. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Jui. Thank you so much for the introduction.
I'm sure, Krishnakant, that a very little percentage of our listeners would know that apart from being a Toastmaster and a budding NLP coach, your current day job colleagues know you for a different skill altogether. It's something to do around human-centered design. Please share some light on the association with this field.
Sure, Jui. Thank you so much. The human-centered design is a concept which is not just a new concept that is lying around with a technical field, but it is widely used even outside of these software domains. I actually came across this particular object which appeared to be very appealing, and yet it was doing a very small part of the human regular day work. I asked the creator of this particular object as to what really made him do this. And what he mentioned is that it's not the problem that it is supposed to solve, but how exactly is this object going to increase the quality of life for anyone who's just sitting at a doctor's waiting station. I was amused by this concept that he just talked about, and I started looking forward as to what is this really that he's talking about. Sometime later, I came across some of these open IDEO related challenges wherein I understood that there is a human-centric design concept that is being derived, and it is being followed up by the Stanford University. So, if it is something so challenging and it is being done in Stanford, can it be really done here? It excited me to look more into that. And then I came across IBM Design Thinking, which was something happening right in the backyards of our own club. We had one of the Toastmasters in one of the sessions take up design thinking as the theme of the day. We discussed, we figured out that there's a lot to learn, and I started doing my design thinking badge in IBM. So that's how it all began.
Okay, so can you share some insights about how this association with design thinking began?
So once I did my badge with IBM Design Thinking, it required me to work in the space of design thinking, which is difficult because not everyone who is working in any department of IBM could start using IBM Design Thinking. We started following people who are there in the design thinking department. Yes, literally we used to stand outside the door and try to find out what can we do to help in this particular field. Guess what happened? They never came out of the door. They would come early in the morning, leave late in the night, and we never got the option. So we jumped into some of the social projects that were available on OpenIDEO. And that is where we started associating ourselves with many more IBMers who wanted to learn design thinking and implement it. As of now, me and a couple of my IBM colleagues have given nearly 23 workshops, and design thinking in real-time problems works marvelously.
Wow, sounds interesting. Can you please tell us your wow moment in one of the workshops?
So, we had this experience of about 85 engineering students who came down to ask industry experts on what exactly is it that we are missing in our curriculum. We said it is experience. Of course, students would not have any experience in what is supposed to be done once they graduate. To bridge this gap, we started giving them coaching programs. One of the coaching program elements is design thinking. We had a 2-day session for students, nearly 85 of them were there, and we gave them some small social problems in which we implemented design thinking as they learnt it. Bit by bit, and by evening, there was a prototype ready. The lecturers were amused, and everybody else was just gazing at the ideas that became prototypes in one day. This was the aha moment which I can never forget in my life.
Awesome. That sounds awesome, really. So, what's your message for our listeners today?
I feel our listeners are all from IBM, and I would really ensure and give you more information after the session is done as to how do you approach to do the IBM design thinking batch. That's the first starting point. And the best part of IBM design thinking is that you can even pursue your career in IBM design thinking itself. If you don't believe me, we have the host who's already working only in that space. So, design thinking is not just UIs and computer screens. It is hard-bound products also that will give the customers a wow feeling. So please venture into design thinking. If you need more assistance, you can talk to me after the show is done.
Well, thank you, Mr. KK, for generously sharing the design thinking knowledge. This has been RJ Jui. For this segment, I'm signing off. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. If there is any questions in the audience about any design thinking, if we are in the middle of
Can the GPS people take care of attend those workshops?
Yes, it is open for all IBMers. You can take it up anywhere. And even if you want to learn the non-IBM flavor of design thinking, there are sessions happening outside. I could connect you with them.
Okay.
So it's a good thing to learn the IBM way and how the world perceives it.
Okay. And how can we build our career in design thinking?
So you can start with one of the badges, which is IBM Design Thinking Practitioner badge, and it's just all theory. Beyond that, there are 5 other levels in which you can proceed on to, and this will also help you get into some of the design thinking aspects, as well as if you have a domain expert, maybe the design thinking team is already looking for your domain expertise and implement it in some of the customer projects. So that's a really good
one question from my end. This is which technology is behind this design thinking? Could you please explain? Which technology means? Suppose I am a developer. My technology is Java. Suppose, for example. So for this design thinking, behind this design thinking, which technology is?
So it's not a technology, it's a thought process to solve a problem.
Okay.
I would require a little bit more time to actually answer you. So maybe right after this session we could talk more about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think there's fire drill going on. We might have to leave the building or else we'll be asked to leave.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.